The ongoing motif of my channel, at least I hope you've picked up on this, has been for me to be as honest as physically possible with you and to share when I've made mistakes and solutions I've come up with those mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes, we're human, okay? So, in that vein, let's get on to today's topic. So today we're talking about my networking toolkit. Now, this covers everything from coaxial cable, Ethernet, and telephone. And I wanted to show you what we got. Now, I've got this broken down into categories of common tools and tools that are specific for a given job. The common tools are things that can be used for any networking job and probably used elsewhere as well. Those include, well, let's start with the tool bag. Now, there's nothing wrong with this tool bag. It's a Husky. It's an older model. I believe it's a 16-inch, and it's the wide mouth, so it opens up nice and wide. It's got pockets on the inside, pockets on the outside. Unlike a lot of people, I never use the pockets on the outside. I'm always afraid something's going to fall off and I'm going to lose it. But it has the pockets. It's a nice tool bag. That bag was easily $50 when I bought it. There are comparable units available on Amazon for $20 or less. If I were to do it today and redo my toolkit, I would go with the Amazon model. It's just as good. Or I'd go to Harbor Freight and see if I could find one for $15 or so. The current comparable Husky, I think, is $39. They've actually come down over the years, but when I bought it, it was about $50. So I wouldn't pay so much for a tool bag. I didn't know any better back then. Same thing goes with my Greenlee 12-foot fiberglass pull rod, fish rod set. This has 3 segments. It has the hole end adapter that you can put something through and pull it through, or it has the hook end, and that's it. There's not much to it. These are kind of on the expensive side for what they are. Again, Amazon has some better options out there, some 30 plus or 50 plus foot units. Honestly, I'm probably going to offload this. If I can't find more extension rods for this, I'm probably going to offload this and get at least a 33 foot from Amazon. A labeler. This is just the Dymo Lectra tag. I got mine at Walmart years ago, and it seems like the same exact item is available on Amazon. I think Walmart still has them. I also got some extra tape cartridges for it. The idea behind this is when I pull and terminate a cable, I will label it as to what cable, what area it came from. In commercial installations, I will use a numeric sequence. In residential, I'll just say what room it goes to. That's a tool I don't regret getting. This is a non-conductive precision Phillips screwdriver. I don't know where I got this. It probably came in an old toolkit that has since been dismantled, fallen apart, and lost. If I could find another one, I would. These are useful. If you can find them, I highly recommend them. Sorry about any sniffles or off voice you may hear from me today. I know that big virus that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube is running around. It's not that. I happen to be a seasonal allergy sufferer, and I am on antihistamines, but this is as good as it gets. This is what happens to me in the spring. Sorry. Small pair of diagonal cutting pliers. This is really useful for like clipping off tie wraps and things like that when cables are bundled together funny. These are really useful. This probably came from the same toolkit that the non-conductive Phillips came from, but this is a Phillips flat blade reversible. There's other models on the market where the center shaft comes out, it flips over, and it will have other size Phillips and flat blades on. These are really useful tools. I don't regret getting this one, but I wish I'd have gotten the one with the 4 sizes so I could have had the bigger and the smaller tips. But this will do. This also doubles up as a nut driver. Now, not network related per se, but definitely computer. This is a SATA to USB 3.0 adapter. I think this is a Starlink. I got this on Amazon, and this is really good if you got a system, say you got a system that's got an infected drive and you want to keep it from booting to that drive, but you want to take it over to another computer and scan and clean and get off any data you can. This is a good way to do it. Mind you, if you got an infected drive, I certainly wouldn't recommend putting this onto a Windows computer. I would probably boot to, say, you know, for the purpose loaded Linux machine and bring the disk up that way. That way you're not running such a risk with viruses. Okay, these are Jonard Tools electrician scissors. These work really well. They give a very nice cut. The reviews say the fit and finish on this. There's plenty of reviewers say the fit and finish isn't very good. I have no clue what they're talking about. The back sides of each blade are rough. They're designed that way. They're files. Of course they're rough. There's a stripping edge here. I don't remember. They're for fairly small size wire, definitely network wire sizes, but I'm not going to be stripping each individual network wire back because the punch does that. But these are a must-have tool. Coaxial cable F-type crimper tool. That's a must-have for crimping your F-type connectors, which I've got plenty of, onto your coax. Coaxial cable tracer. This one is a Klein Tools Coax Explorer Plus. This has been a deprecated model from Klein. They replaced it with the Coax Explorer 2. And if you look, there's these extensions you put on each end. There's a red, a white, or a red, a blue, a green, and a black. And there's lights here, red, blue, green, black on the tool. You connect one of these to each of your coax ends wherever you're going through, and then at the center where it all meets at your splitter, you put these in. That way you know which one came from. You hit the button and it'll light up for whichever of these are on. You remember which it is, and of course you label it. These are a nice tool, not necessarily 100% necessary for the way I like to do work and the way I like to label. I find it necessary. You may not. This is a commercial electric coaxial cable stripper. You pop it back, put your coax in until it's flush, drop it so the spring holds it, and then spin it around and it trims your coax perfectly. It does a great job, but let me tell you something else. We're going to set this aside. That works great. It's a great tool, but it's a mistake. We're setting that aside and we're going to talk about another mistake. Paladin Tools Data Sure Strip. Two blades here together real close. They'll strip flat cable, the blade under the kind of weird oval opening, strip round cable, and there's a cutter. This thing itself is about $28. This is about $8. For about $8 on Amazon, there's a combination tool that does both jobs perfectly. $8 on Amazon, why spend extra? The TrendNet modular crimper. This will crimp RJ45, RJ11. It has a stripper on it. This will strip flat cable, and it looks like it'll strip round cable like category 5, category 6. I've used it before. I don't like the stripper. Sorry, I prefer the smaller handheld strippers. I've found the crimper on this to be a lot more reliable than some other brands, so I highly recommend the TrendNet. Punchdown tool. Lots and lots of copies of this thing under variable names on the internet. I'm going to recommend going with TrendNet just because I'm comfortable with their brand. There is blade storage in the end, and the blade just locks in like that. Adjustable impact levels. Works great. This one I've had easily 20 years. To make life easier, a Keystone rest. You put your Keystone in, feed the cable in, put it on the table with flat surface, punch down. Makes it easier on your hands. Instructions for the Keystone rest. Now, you may have already seen network cable testers. This particular one is the TrendNet TC-NT2, and it's a little unique. It's not just a cable tester. This will provide a testing tone over the line that will allow you to trace cables, not just test whether or not it's good. The tone gets picked up, and I do say, out of all the cable testers I've ever had, this is the one I recommend. This is actually probably the best cable tester I've had. No, it's not like the Fluke, the one that certifies cables, but we're not doing certified cabling. Don't care. In my career, I've never found that to be all that important. The tone probe is the TrendNet TC-TP1. That's more expensive than buying a cheap tone and probe and a cheap cable tester, but you're going to get better performance out of it. I highly recommend those. The rest of what's in my tool bag is literally a bag of category 5 RJ45 connectors. I don't know where I got this pouch, but there's category 6 connectors in there. Network cable boots. More boots. More boots. More boots. Lots of colors of boots. And F-type coaxial connectors. Okay, that's what's in my kit. That's what I recommend. I've told you where I think I made the mistakes, and I told you where I think I went right. Hopefully you learned something here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like my videos, remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Feel free to go back into the old catalog by clicking my channel, and then clicking on the videos link. There's lots of decent stuff back there you may be interested in. And like I always say to you folks, be busy. Be productive, be safe, but most of all, be blessed. I'll talk to you later. Thanks for watching.